Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker, and make sure you're subscribed to the All This Math YouTube channel. Make sure you drop a comment down below, especially if you have questions at the end of this video or as you're watching this video. If you have questions, put your questions in the comments, and I may make a follow-up video targeting your specific question. Also, like the video, please. Please like the video and also share the video with somebody else. All right, now what are we actually doing today? This is HSPT math. Now, what does HSPT stand for? High school placement test. Now, the high school placement test acronym refers to a placement test that eighth grade students take, right? That includes pre-algebra, algebra, and geometry questions. Eighth grade students that attend parochial and Catholic schools. Well, I should say Catholic schools and other parochial schools. All right, it's a placement test to see how well they would fare as ninth graders in parochial or Catholic and parochial high schools. All right. And this is an example of one of the questions that a student might see on this test. And, this content actually is important content for all students, to understand. So, because all students should have a strong understanding of pre-algebra, algebra, and geometry. So this is not just limited to students in Catholic schools or parochial schools. It's really for anybody, you know. This just happens to be where I got the content from. So all right, so let's get into it. Simplify, and we should know how to read this correctly, right? Simplify 4 times the quantity, not parentheses. We don't say parentheses. We say times the quantity. Times the quantity of what? Inside the parentheses, you have an expression. That's the quantity. Quantity of 2x minus 5 plus 3x. All right. Now, some of you may be familiar with what's called the distributive property. Distributive property. Distribute meaning to give something out. So when you have a number or a variable written adjacent or juxtaposed, that's a good word to know, juxtaposed, written next to, right, a quantity, we're going to multiply that number, in this case 4, by every term inside the parentheses. Now, what I want to make sure you don't do is you do not multiply this 4 by this 3x. All right, that's a common error you want to avoid. Do not multiply this 4 by this 3x. Why? Because the 3x is not part of this quantity. It's not part of this expression that's inside the parentheses. All right, this 3x is going to be added to whatever this expression simplifies to. So let's first do that. Let's follow the order of operations and let's multiply. Multiply 4 by 2x and multiply 4 by -5. Also, don't forget to multiply the 4 by the -5. That's another common error. Don't forget, make sure you multiply the 4 by everything inside the parentheses. So you need to know your multiplication facts. You need to know that 4 times 2 is 8. So therefore, 4 times 2x is 8x. Right. I know you was about to say that. Right. And then you're going to multiply 4 by -5. Now, 4 times -5 is not positive 20. It's not positive 20. I'll say it again. It ain't positive 20. A positive multiplied by a negative gives you a negative product. 4 times -5 is -20. So we're going to say minus 20. All right. And then we bring down the plus 3x. Now you ask yourself, what should I do next? I got subtraction and addition. Now, you also need to know that 8x minus 20 is not negative 12x. These two are not like terms. These two are not like terms. We're not going to actually subtract 20 from 8x because this is a negative 20 and this is an 8x. This is an x term. This is a constant. This is an x term. This is a constant. They are not like terms. You can multiply or divide terms when they're not considered alike. You cannot add or subtract terms when they're not considered alike. This is a 4 and this is a 2x. These are not like terms, but you can multiply them. You can multiply them. But when it comes to doing addition and subtraction, addition, you got to deal with like terms. So therefore, we can't combine 8x and -20. I repeat, we cannot combine 8x and -20. You got to know the rules. Learn the rules, then follow the rules, and everything going to be all right. You're going to get correct answers. All right. But we can combine this 8x with this 3x. So the 8x and the 3x. So you put the 8x and the 3x together, right? Because of that plus sign, 8x plus 3x. How many x's do you have altogether? Now you got 11 x's. That's how many x's you got altogether. You got 11 of them. You had 8 of them. The coefficient 8 tells you how many x's you got right here. This coefficient 3 tells me how many x's I got right here. Altogether, you got 11 of them. So it means you got 11x. And then what do you do with this minus 20? You just put it in the answer. 11x minus 20. And again, you cannot combine 11x with -20. You should not. Nobody should be writing down -9x on their paper. They shouldn't be doing that. This is an x term. This is a constant. You cannot add or subtract unlike terms. You can multiply them or divide them by each other, but you can't add or subtract them. Therefore, there's nothing else mathematically that we can do in this problem. And this is our final answer, 11x minus 20. So this original expression simplifies to 11x minus 20 after we multiply the 4 by everything in the parentheses, and then we combine like terms. So distribute, combine like terms. That's all we had to do here. All right. So make sure you know how to do problems like this. So when you see them, if you're going to take the HSPT exam, if you're in the 8th grade this year, you attend a Catholic school or parochial school, you might take the HSPT exam. Or if you're in 7th grade or 6th grade, and you might be taking it in a couple years, make sure you know this type of problem. If you don't attend a Catholic school or a parochial school, you still should know how to do this. You need to understand this is an Algebra 1 concept. This is an Algebra 1 concept. So again, make sure you subscribe to the All This Math YouTube channel. Go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and drop a comment in the comments, especially if you have a question about something that I went over. If you got a question about something that I went over that you're not too clear about, put your question in the comments and I'll check it out. All right. And also, last but not least, share this video with somebody. All right. Go get some practice. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.